Hello there, everyone. Sam Leterna here with a very special guest today for Wrestle Tea. He doesn't do a lot of video interviews, so I am blessed that he's here today. The Prize City OG, the Northeast Beast, Alec Price. How are you doing, Alec?
I'm good. I'm good. You?
I'm good. I'm excited you're here today because I've worked with you a lot in the Northeast, at Limitless, at Beyond, at other promotions, and I've really seen your growth over the last year, not only as a wrestler, but as a person. And you know, you've just been doing so much within your career to grow. You've become the Limitless Wrestling Champion, beating out a bunch of worthy contenders in order to get there. You are the current sub champion. You were one of the stalwarts of the Northeast, going down to the Southeast for Uncharted territory, and you're even expanding into other parts of the country now. So let's talk about the last couple of months, from the time that you won the Limitless Championship on. How has that upward trajectory felt for you?
Oh, it's crazy. No cap, it's kind of came out of nowhere. For years I was trying to force, having wanting to go everywhere and be everywhere, and then all of a sudden it just kind of came out of nowhere and hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm extremely busy. I'm working 4 or 5 times a weekend now, but I love it. Ever since I won that belt, not even that, before then I was getting some steam, but I feel like the Limitless belt kind of helped establish that this was my territory. I'm gonna be the one coming up from the Northeast and stuff. So it's been crazy. It's just been crazy.
Definitely.
It's been crazy.
And the lineage of the Limitless Wrestling Championship can't be denied. People like MJF, Anthony Green, Daniel Garcia, Carmelo Hayes, of course, can't forget, formerly Christian Casanova, and now you. So it's exciting to see that you were a part of that lineage and who could potentially be next. But for now, that Limitless title is firmly in your grasp.
Yeah, no one's getting it. I'm not letting that go. Everybody's gonna have you guys are gonna have to kill me to get this gold off of me. This is my first ever legit World Heavyweight Championship. I've held this for 190 days. Actually, a little bit more than 190 days. I'm the second longest reigning Limitless World Champion in history.
So are you trying to become the longest reigning? That's the goal.
Of course. I want to put this on the map. I want this championship to be one of the top championships, like it already is in indie wrestling. I want it to be the top. I want people from everywhere, from Japan to Europe to India to wherever they got wrestling, to want to come through and face for that title.
A true world title in that sense.
True world title, yeah.
Well, you can catch Alec Price on Limitless via IWTV. Check that out, independentwrestlingtv.com for your subscription and the full Limitless library. And more recently, with Uncharted territory coming up in the South, and all of these exciting opportunities, not only for Southeast wrestlers, but for the Northeast to kind of also, I guess, give them a little run for their money, right? By going down, you, Slade, we've had Masha Slamovich, Marcus Mathers, of course. What's been the most exciting part for you about traveling down to the South, and have you adapted your style in the South?
I mean, a lot of the Southern wrestlers say I'm a Northern wrestler that works a Southern style, because I can actually work. You know what I mean? I can actually do my job and get people to hate me. But I mean, it's not really adapting. It's having them adapt to me. I can face anybody of any style, any which way. That's not a problem for me. What a problem is going in there and people heard of me, people seeing what I've been doing, but now it's time for me to prove that, and it's a whole different territory. I already got the Northeast under wraps. I've been killing it in the Northeast, and I've been proving that this is my territory. I am the top guy. You want to make it in the Northeast, you better face me. But now it's time for me to prove that in other territories. I got to prove it everywhere I go, the Southeast to the Midwest to the West Coast. People know of Alec Price, but not everybody in that territory knows of Alec Price. So it doesn't matter where I go, I always got to keep proving myself. You know what I mean?
And in places where you have already established yourself, you are popular by definition, be it, working as a babyface or a heel, how do you gauge when the fans, and I think this has maybe been happening a bit more recently, where the fans stop booing you because there's that respect component that they're developing for your work and your hustle. So what do you do when the fans start to cheer you? Do you still want them to boo? Do you kind of want to be perceived as more of a fan favorite now? Where are you at with that?
For the past 5 years, I've kind of figured out I'm a polarizing figure. When I was hated, people loved to watch me wrestle, but they loved to hate me. when I'm a baby. People love to watch me wrestle. They still want to hate me, but they love me. They just want Alec Price. Take me whatever way you want to take me. It doesn't matter to me. At the end of the day, like, I'm just gonna be me. And that's what I think why I've gotten so much success, like, compared to other people. I'm not trying to be anybody else but myself. When I'm in there, I'm still Alec Price. Regardless if I'm telling you that I hate you or telling my opponent that I hate you. Like, it's any situation you throw me in, I'm always gonna be me. So, you know what I mean? I want to be polarizing. If you like me, you like me. If you hate me, you hate me. Either which way, you're going to be watching me and looking up my stuff. So it don't matter.
Yeah, going on Twitter, tweeting about something, right? Positive or negative press is good press.
Well, not negative, but yeah.
Well, but you know what I mean. Booze,
yeah,
like,
booze.
oh, that Alec Price.
That buster.
Yeah. But also, I think that, like, with you having, like, an endearing kind of also, like, relatable character in many ways, I think that a lot of people that watch wrestling have, like, seen your rise and your struggle and your hustle, and maybe that's why there's been that shift where people are, like, cheering because they know where you've come from, but not everyone knows the full story of, like, Alec Price and the fact that there was a time where, it could have been that you went in two different directions of your life, you had told me, either like kind of like a fork in the road, right? Like you chose wrestling over, kind of like a path that was kind of reflective of where you grew up, right? Like the mean streets of Boston. So why don't you tell me about that time in your life and what exactly led you in the right path, wrestling, as opposed to where you were headed?
It's just like I grew up not with a lot of money. Most of the time we were eating like cereal for dinner because we're getting sent to school because there was nothing for us to eat throughout the day. I never really had anything that was fully mine. Everything was always everybody else's or the family's or everything. So I just wanted, something to be mine. And wrestling, I feel like, is that one thing that, like, it's mine. I have it. You know what I mean? Like, I shine through it. Like, I shine. Like, when I'm in that ring, I fucking feel alive. Like, I finally feel like I found something that it's, like, just me. And, like, when wrestling wasn't there, like, I didn't have anything. So I was just going crazy. I was doing so much stuff that, like, I shouldn't be doing. I'm not going to say anything because I'm not incriminating myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like... I was going through it mentally because, like, this was, like, to me, this is everything that I have. I have nothing else but wrestling. This is the one thing that, like, I shine through. I shine through in other stuff, but I've never really shined through like this.
Where it feels so organic and right for you to be doing something. It just
feels me. Like, I don't have to worry about, like, looking over my shoulder. I don't have to worry about, like, is this going to be the day that that, like, shit pops off. Like, I get to go through and, like, and just enjoy myself and, like, just get to chill. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was doing a lot of crazy stuff when the pandemic hit. Like, I didn't have anything other than wrestling. So, like, I was going out, I was driving without a permit. You know what I mean? I was doing some crazy stuff because I didn't have what made me whole. So I was just looking for something to make me whole. It was a struggle, but I'm glad I'm here, and wrestling came back, and I stuck with it, and I didn't do anything too crazy to get me hemmed up or anything like that. You know what I mean? But I'm just happy I'm here. Like, I feel alive when I do this, so I want to continue to do this as long as I possibly can.
Yeah, and when you work and to do something that you love, then it doesn't really feel like you're working a day in your life.
Never. You know what I mean?
And I'd imagine that's especially true now with you, working 3, 4, sometimes even 5 times a week as of late. Let's talk about this, this past weekend where you wrestled 5 times, correct, in 4 days?
Yeah.
Like, there's people that have been wrestling 10 plus years who are, like, veterans of this industry who won't even take on, like, that kind of schedule because it's so rigorous, like, physically and mentally on the body and travel. Like, when I saw you yesterday at Game Changer, looked like you'd been through a tornado, but you got through it and you got through your match with Grim Reefers. So why don't you, like, tell me about that weekend and kind of the struggles that come with being on the road?
I mean, like, when I was because when I first started off in wrestling, my trainer told me when I did my first ever long road trip, you're either gonna love this is gonna make you love it, or it's gonna make you hate it, because that's what wrestling is. It's roads. Like, you're only at the show for a couple hours, and then you're on the road for like 9, 10, 11, and then you barely get any sleep, and then you're, you know, going to your next show, getting power naps by like an hour, just trying to get some sleep, and then you're trying to call, like, it's hard, but it's wrestling. If you want to do this, you're gonna have to get used to it.
There's no getting around it.
There's no getting around it. Like, do you think anybody else that have made, like, that done like the stuff that I'm doing right now, there's been other people before me that have done the same thing, and they're on TV and they're the biggest stars in the industry because they stuck through it and they did it. You have to kind of force yourself, you know what I mean? Like, you can do whatever you want in wrestling, but there's still stuff that you can't get away from that you have to do, like paying dues. Everybody's like, oh, you don't have to pay dues. No, you still got to pay dues. It may not be in the traditional aspect of paying dues, but you will pay dues in some way or another, you know what I mean?
And what do you think of people who say that you don't produce bad matches? I don't know.
I could disagree with them sometimes. It's like, no, like, I don't think I produce bad matches. I feel like because I don't want to go in there and have shitty matches. Like, I don't like that. Like, I know I can do a quality of like a match. Like, I know I can have a banger if I go in there. So it's like, I don't want to have anything short of a banger, because then I don't want to do it. Like, I know what I'm capable of. If I can't put 110% into it, like, I don't want to be one of those guys that like are 40 and used to be able to go and now have shitty matches, but they're still in wrestling because I love it. It's like, no, I love this and I would be here. I'm gonna be here for the long haul, but I want to make sure that I'm producing. I don't want to fall off, you know what I mean? I want to be Alec Price. I want everybody to be like, yo, he's the same way he was since, like, even like Grim Reaper. Grim Reaper is the same way. This man can go. This man is a legend. You know what I mean? Me and him went toe to toe yesterday. He can still go. I want that. I want to be like that, where it's like, it doesn't matter who you put me in. It doesn't matter if I've been 20 years in the business, 10 years in the business. I want to be able to go with everybody, anybody, and produce the best match. So like, that's probably why people say I don't have bad matches. Like, sometimes I disagree. I feel like I have bad matches, but I am my own worst enemy. So, you know what I mean? But
yeah.
Thank you for the support. I mean,
but I'm just here sipping my Wrestle Tea that Alec Price has given me. Ha ha ha. Taking a brief water break for a moment.
You gotta sip that tea. You feel me?
Oh yeah, that's what it's all about. That's why I gave you a mug, to get you in the spirit for spilling all this tea. But let's talk about the future, because I know that recently, maybe 6 months ago or so, you did have an opportunity to try out at the WWE Performance Center, an opportunity of a lifetime. I heard from my inside sources that you did quite well there, and you were a standout at this tryout. So, are you still TV minded? Are you someone that wants to go the route of say a Daniel Garcia, who took his time to get to television? What do you feel like is next for the story of Alec Price?
I want to get signed. Like, that's been my end-all, be-all goal, is getting signed. Like, I want to be there. I want to do everything in this business. Like, I never really was like, when I grew up, I didn't watch indies like that, and it's not because I didn't like indie wrestling. I heard of it. I watched Impact and I watched WWE because it was free. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it was what was accessible.
Yeah, and like, it was like, I knew it was at a schedule. Like, I didn't like have to look up any shows. I knew it was every Thursday, Monday, and Friday. Like, so like, I love it. Like, the tryout was amazing. I really, I'm grateful for WWE for giving me that opportunity. Just especially me. Like, you know what I mean? You wouldn't expect me to be down there. Like, especially when I first started and everyone was making fun of me. Like, you would not expect Alec Price to be at WWE tryout. And the fact that I like got there and I learned so much, and all the trainers and everyone that was there, like, it was a great experience. You know what I mean? Like, I would love to be down there. I would also like to be at AEW, and I would also like to be at Impact, and I also would like to be at New Japan. I also would like to be everywhere. So like, you want to do it all. I want to do it all. Even if I didn't get signed on my first tryout, it doesn't matter to me, because I feel like I'm able to make my name right now and like prove. Like, I feel like when I got my tryout, I was just hitting my stride a little bit. So I feel like I would have been gone. But now it's like I'm hitting my stride and I'm starting to show everyone who I am. Well, to that point, like,
how do you diversify yourself and make yourself stand apart from all of these other super talented guys that are coming up alongside you? People like, Nick Wayne, Titus Alexander, people like that who are, from different sides of the country than you, but also having these massive waves of momentum. Like, do you think about how you set yourself apart, or do you just really, truly be yourself 100%?
I'm just myself.
Yeah, no business to it. Kind of just rolling with the universe of it.
It's just myself.
And showing out in the ring.
It doesn't matter what situation you put me in, wrestling-wise or life-wise, I'm always going to be just Alec. I'm not a fake person. I'm a really real person. And, like, I love everybody but I don't love everybody. You know what I mean? Like, the thing about it is, like, it's either you're really or fake. It doesn't matter what creed you are, who you are, what, like, it doesn't matter as long as you're a real or fake person. And I feel like that's why, like, I'm so different than other people, and people like me a lot because I'm just real. And they can relate to me being real because they see it like, dude, this dude's just a real dude that, like, grew up how I grew up, or seen the stuff that I've seen, or loves the same thing I love. He's just a real person, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm just myself. Like, no one else is Alec. There's nobody else that's Alec Price or Alec. I'm not telling you my shoot last name, but, like, Price is my shoot last name.
Don't do that. Yeah.
But anyways, no, but, like, no one else is me, so why not be me?
Yeah, and I mean, in a way, like, you have made yourself larger than life by just being you in wrestling, so clearly what you're doing is working.
Yeah, I'm still a scrappy, loudmouth piece of shit with a death wish in real life. I'm just, you know what I mean? A little bit chiller in real life. Like, I don't want to get too hype, but in wrestling I get a lot of hype because, like, I get hype as well.
Let's talk about the hype part. I think you might know where I'm going with this, and anyone who is involved in wrestling intimately will know that Alec has a pretty crazy pre-show ritual. He literally smacks himself really hard right in Gorilla.
Sometimes punch myself.
Sometimes. So if you're more stressed, do you punch yourself?
No, just if I'm feeling it.
If you're feeling it.
Like, if I think the slap's not doing it, I give a little, like, you know what I mean?
And are there people who you wrestle for the first time that then, like, think, oh my God, this guy's insane, what am I getting myself
there's
in?
A lot of people that...
Can you spill any tea?
There's a lot of people that just, like, look at me doing this and they're just like, oh, I'm in it for a rough one. And then they're good, you know what I mean? Because I'm a professional. I'm not. I can work. You feel me?
Can work.
Like, it's just my high school ritual that I did in football. So, like when I did play football in high school, we had a prayer before we went out on the field. We would be in the tunnel. That's why, like, if anybody ever hears my prayer, I repeat myself. I start smacking myself because I'm smacking my helmet. Like, I'm walking in a pace and I keep pacing back and forth because I'm walking in line with all my teammates right next to me in that tunnel, holding arm to arm. It's the same thing that I did in high school. Like, I was the only one that knew the prayer, so I did the prayer, and that shit got me so hyped that, like, I do it now because it's me. It's something that like, I hold near and dear to my heart.
It's carried through. It's a ritual for you. Yeah.
It gets me so hyped that why not do it? And plus, I got ADHD. You know what I mean? I smack myself a couple times, get a little mad. You know what I mean? I'm already hyped up.
Hype yourself up.
I go from like 10 to like 100 in a second. But people like, brother, it's wrestling, and I'm like, brother, it's still a fight. Like, this is still real to me. Like, this is my life. So
you take it seriously.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna put out a video and show people my pregame ritual because I feel like people don't really know. Like, we're explaining it now, but you don't really feel it until like you're there. You know what I mean? Like, because I don't talk to anybody. People are trying to like dap me up, and I'm walking right by them. Yeah. Dead-eyed.
Like, I won't even, like, I know, like, don't even ask for an interview, don't do anything until after this boy is done wrestling, because he's just, like, tunnel vision.
I'm done,
But it's cool to see people who get so invested in, like, you know, those moments before the match, because it really carries through in your entrance, which is so unique, and then in what you do in the ring. You are going to be going head-to-head with Biff Busick, who I believe is one of the first, you know, male aces of Beyond Wrestling, so it very much so is this collision of past and present, or maybe present and future, shall we say. And by the way, you can catch the Biff Busick interview that I did. It's down there in the playlist, so check that out so you can get different perspectives. But I guess essentially you are representing Wrestling Open in this sense, because I think you're the top guy at Wrestling Open. You know, I know you're a humble dude, but you know, you're top dog, top ace.
Top dog, both of them.
Oh, okay.
At
We like this
Beyond
confidence.
and at Wrestling Open.
But historically, we have Biff, who has been this you know, big honcho for Beyond. You know, the theme song of Beyond is Biff's theme song. So for you, is it a lot of pressure to face like a man who has been the guy at Beyond in the past for so long?
It's not even about Beyond, it's about the territory.
Like New England.
He's been the guy for this territory before I was even born wrestling wise. It was always Biff Busick.
Like he's the standard.
He was the stand. I didn't even know who this dude was, and I would play as him at watch him on NXT as Orny Lorcan, and I knew him as Orny Lorcan as the boss of Buzzsaw, and then I found out that was Biff.
Oh, okay. So that was the moment it connected for you.
Because I only heard of him legit of he was a legend. I never seen him. I just heard of Biff. And just heard of what he did, who he was, and what he did for this territory. This match means, I've had matches in my career that, I've cried after because it meant so much to me. When I faced Eddie Edwards, because, it was I was proving my Kowalski lineage. This is me proving that the territory is good.
And that it's yours.
That it's mine. It's not even that it's mine, that the territory is good. You know what I mean? When you got that one dude that's been around forever and they leave, it's either someone's going to step up or the territory's going to die. I want to prove that this is my spot. Biff's been around for years. He's done everything. He's put on for this territory. It's my time to put on. You know what I mean? History repeats itself. It's not a linear thing where everything changes. At the end of the day, events will, you know what I mean, happen. And now it's my time. Now I'm the top guy. I'm done hearing of these legends. It's time to make my legend.
So you feel like a victory this Sunday?
I feel like a victory is everything. I feel like I can't walk out with anything less than a victory.
So you're not going to have the torch passed. You're going to have the torch. You're going to take the torch.
I'm taking it. And it's the thing with Biff is I got all respect in the world for Biff. I got respect for my elders in wrestling, you know what I mean? The OG, the vets. But it's my time. I'm not, you know what? I'm done even saying it's my time. I don't even have to prove myself anymore. Wrestling Open is my spot. You know what I mean? Biff is like Goliath. I'm David right now. But at the end of the day, Goliath still got slain. Biff's been going around killing it. And I've been wanting this match forever because I feel like if I don't have this match, I'm not really proving myself as an ace. I'm not really proving myself as a wrestler. I'm not really even proving myself as a New England guy. I'm just back to being Alec Price. This match is everything for me. It's either put up to shut up. I've had brawls, I've had fights, I've had everything in between, but this match is gonna be either I'm it or I'm not. So Biff's got to be ready, and I'm going to be ready. I'm going to put my 110%. I know he's going to put his 110%, and this is going to be probably one of the this is going to be survival for me. This is going to be it's not just a wrestling match. This is either I'm going to sink or swim. So I'm fucking ready. I want Biff Busick this Sunday. I want the best he's got, and I'm going to bring the best I got because I want to prove that this is my spot and that I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm not you, I'm me, and I'm better than you.
Well, clearly the gauntlet has been laid down by Alec Price this Sunday, June 12th. Beyond Wrestling presents Please Come Back Wrestling Open versus Beyond, where he will be going head-to-head with Biff Busick. You can catch it on IWTV. It'll be live, or you can join us at Sixth String in Foxborough, Massachusetts. So catch all of the information on that on Beyond social media, on Twitter and Instagram for all the latest. And Alec, thank you so much for your time. I've really enjoyed this interview. I hope that all of you have gotten an insight into the Prize City OG. And if you've been watching for this long in the video, thank you. I know attention spans are short. Why don't you go down in the comments and comment Busta if you've been watching till the end. Busta with an AH, okay? You got to do it Boston style. Alec, why don't you tell people where they can catch you on social media?
All right, so it's pretty simple. You know what I mean? I don't do anything too crazy. All right, if you're on this, you either really like my wrestling, a big fan of me, it makes more sense if you're a big fan of Wrestle Tea. So if you got to, go follow them. Follow, share, everything you can do. My name is the Prize City OG on Instagram and Twitter. Same handle, so it makes it easier for you. I also got a TikTok at the Prize City OG. Alec Price is my Facebook. The Prize Alec Price is my Facebook page, and Snapchat's only for the woes. And you can go to my Pro Wrestling Tees. I got some shirts up there. New fanny packs are coming through soon. So stop sitting there. Stop watching the video, and you know what I mean? Like, go like, subscribe, follow my stuff. Like, come on, bro. Don't be a buster. Don't be a fucking flea. Be a G. Be real. Be my boy. You know what I mean? Like, all these busters out here don't recognize real. I recognize real. Recognize real with me. You feel me?
I feel you, Alec. Thank you so much. And guys, be sure to like, subscribe, and of course, Alec's info is going to be in the bio as well.
Dang.
So click that. Bye-bye.
Deuces.